Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here, and today we're doing another of my favourites videos. You guys seem to absolutely love my favourites. I always get comments like, yay, another Simone favourite. So we're gonna give it a go today and I cannot wait. So let's just jump into the video. So today we are going to start with book. So my favourite book of 2020, I guess, so far, because we're only in we've only had January. I've had a really rubbish reading month, if I'm honest. I DNF'd loads of books. I just didn't enjoy them. I had like 2s and 3s. I had some 1 stars. Like, it was not a great reading month for me. So I had a few, maybe 2 or 3, or did I maybe even have 4 stars, and so I've had to pick between those, and I ended up going for the first book I completed in the month of January, and that was Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I am so excited and glad that I finally read Celeste Ng. I have plans to buddy read the another book by Celeste Ng in February, so I'll also link my TBR down below so you can go and check that out. But this one is a really beautiful book. It talks a lot about identity, it talks about race, it talks about culture and love, and yeah, it's just a really interesting, it talks about mental health. There's lots of things in this. This basically follows a Chinese American family who live in 1970s small town Ohio. It follows Marilyn and James Lee. Marilyn is a white American woman and James is a Chinese man, and he one of their daughters, Lydia, is like their favorite child and is the kind of like child, the dream, and then her body is found in a lake, and it's kind of about the unraveling of what happens after that. This is not necessarily a case of who done it, and it's not like a crime book at all. This is more of a story of reflection. It talks about what happens when they coming to terms with what's happened. Like I said, it talks a lot about identity. It talks about dealing with being mixed race, and generally it also talks a lot about James's dealing with the fact that he is Chinese and he is a professor in the 1970s and living amongst people that don't necessarily or not necessarily used to somebody who looks different. And yeah, there's lots and lots of things in this. It was just such a wonderful read. This is, I don't even know how long it is. It's 300 pages or so, maybe. Yeah, nearly 300 pages, and I just really enjoyed it. This is Own Voices. I believe Celeste Ng is I believe she's Chinese American, but I could be wrong in that. Yeah, she definitely it's definitely Own Voices in that respect. I absolutely loved this. Like I said, this was a wonderful read. There were some parts to it which I didn't quite understand or appreciate, perhaps to the same extent that I should have done. I think it's also because this is kind of a literary fiction novel that some of the writing in it is very flowery language throughout, and some of it kind of went over my head because it's just not my favourite style. But yeah, I really enjoyed the writing. I really enjoyed the story, and I think that it's definitely worth a read. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to reading. I think we're reading Little Fires Everywhere. Oh yeah, a little sticker here. Little Fires Everywhere in February, so I can't wait to see if I enjoy that one as well. Then on to my favourite TV show of the month, and me and AJ have actually started rewatching House. So we got Prime, Amazon Prime in January, and I've watched all of House from the very beginning to the very end, and I think AJ's seen most of the episodes, like, or maybe like mixed up, or maybe he's seen all of them, I'm not actually sure, but we really enjoy House. We watched maybe like 3 episodes now, so we're not very far in, but I just really enjoy like sitting down and watching one in the evening while we have dinner. And yeah, it's just a wonderful, wonderful series. If you don't know what House is, it basically follows a doctor called Gregory House in America, who works as a kind of specialist, I guess, in a he's the head of a department basically with 3 other doctors who are very, very intelligent, and they basically have to figure out what's wrong with people. They're like a consulting team, and they get all these like weird and wonderful cases that nobody else can solve, and they have to try and figure out what happened and what's wrong with people. And yeah, he also is very eccentric, he's very funny, he's very, very grouchy, and I just love it. I think it's so wonderful. And yeah, I think that Hugh Laurie is just a wonderful wonderful, wonderful actor, and I just think he plays House in such a wonderful way. So yeah, I really love that series, and that's what we've been loving this month. And for my favourite film, we actually watched Burlesque in January, which is one of my favourite films of all time. It's a musical, I guess, film which features Christina Aguilera as the main character, and she is basically she's left her small town and she's gone to a big city. I can't remember which one, it's in America, and she has gone to a burlesque like bar, I guess, and is trying to become one of the dancers and singers. And yeah, I love it. I just think it's wonderful. There's so many great songs in it. It's great. And I also forgot that what's her name, no, I can't remember the name of the other girl in it. Kristen Bell. Is it Kristen Bell? The one that's in The Good Place. She is actually in this, and I totally forgot that until we started watching, and I remembered, I was like, oh, there she is. It's also got Cher in it. It's got Stanley Tucci in it. Tucci, I don't know how you say his name. Anyway, he's amazing, and I just genuinely think it's one of the best like films that I've seen in a long time, so I loved that. Then for my favourite YouTubers who are not booktubers, I've got a couple this month. So my favourite probably has been Soph Does Life. She used to be Soph Does Nails. She's a beauty YouTuber who does lots of like you know, like makeup videos, etc. She also does Q&A. She's recently moved or moving, so she's doing like moving vlogs, and I just think she's wonderful. She's really down to earth and really honest, and I love that. I also think that it's nice that she comes from very like humble beginnings. Like she used to do lots of like Primark and Poundland videos, and she still does those even though she's like got a million subscribers now. I just absolutely love her. I think that she's wonderful, and I would highly recommend. And then another Sophie that I've really enjoyed is Sophie Louise, who again has quite a similar style. In fact, I think they're actually friends. And yeah, I just think she's wonderful too. She suffers a lot with like anxiety, and I really enjoy like hearing her talk about those things and about how she's dealing with it. She lives with her I think it's her boyfriend Alex, and they've got a massive cat called Moon who is adorable, and they recently did like a McDonald's mukbang talking about like addressing the rumors about their relationship, which was just really funny because like some of the things that people come up with is amazing and hilarious. So yeah, I've just really enjoyed both of those channels this month. Then for BookTuber, I've really enjoyed Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction. I've really loved Ashley's channel for a long time, but very specifically this month, she's just been really wonderful. She did 10 Days of January, which I absolutely loved, and I think her content has been amazing, and she's just really lovely. Like every video, I just feel like I'm riveted to the screen because I just don't want to look away because I'm so in awe of what she does and what she can do. She's just hit like 10,000 subscribers, which is 1000% deserved, and I love her content. I think she's wonderful, and I cannot wait to watch more from her this year. And I've also really been loving Mary from Mary Among Stories. Her vlogs are some of my favourites. I posted my first vlog ever this month, and I have really got inspiration from Mary's channel. She talks a lot about books throughout. She does knitting parts. She does some amazing like camera footage. Her editing is incredible. I just think she's wonderful, and I would highly recommend. She used to be with Cinnamon Please, so if you aren't sure of the name Mary Among Stories, that's why, because she changed it. But I think she's so wonderful. She's got such a wonderful like personality and demeanour, and I just can't help but like fall in love every time I listen or watch a video of hers. Next up, we have my favourite music of the month, and I was right in saying that AJ didn't want me to say what our first dance song was, so I'm going to be keeping that to myself. But I have really been enjoying, I've really just been enjoying the song New Rules by Dua Lipa. It is not a new song by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just one of those like, I got new rules I run, like, love it. I think the video is incredible as well. Sorry for singing then, that was upsetting in a lot of ways, I'm sure. Yeah, but I just really enjoyed it, and yes, I would highly recommend that you go and check it out because it's just one of those songs that just gets really stuck in your head all the time. And then my favourite YouTube video that I watched this month, I only have one this time, and that is Carrie Hope Fletcher, who is one of my favourites, did a book video. She did a video talking about the book she read in 2019, and I have to say it's one of my favorite things when I see big big YouTubers and like talking about books. And I also really enjoyed so I watch A Covet Thee, so it's Alex from the channel I Covet Thee, and she did a book video as well about the books that she wants to read in 2020. And I just love watching big booktubers talk about books. So yeah, like I said, Carrie Hope Fletcher and I Covet Thee, I will link both those videos down below because I think you should check them out. But I just think it's really fun, and I love to see the crossover between the books that they read and the books that I read, and like books that I've seen on BookTube, etc. So yeah, I really just loved that. I think it's wonderful, and I just like the fact that books are getting everywhere. I think that's fun, and I love the fact that we can all share it. So there you are, guys. That is all of my favourites for the month of January. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what your favourite book of the month was, because quite clearly I need to be reading some better books this month because I've not had a good one. So fingers crossed for February that I can read better ones, although like I said, my TBR is humongous. But yeah, we'll soon see how it goes, and I shall see you next time for another video. Bye guys!